The Freemasons first originated out of the stonemasons in the 14th century, whose responsibilities were dealing with clients, authorities, and organizing the qualifications of Masons. The grades for the Freemasons were basically what the Rosicrucian grades were, and still go according to the original medieval Freemason grades today. The degrees of their grade systems consist of 3 guilds: the apprentice, journeyman, fellowcraft, and master mason. They are the degrees that are offered by Craft, Blue Lodge, Freemasons. There are more degrees by different bodies that go along locality and jurisdiction, administered by branches outside of the Craft, Blue Lodge, Freemasons. There are 2 types of Masonic lodges at the Craft level called the regular ritual and the French ritual. The local organization of the Freemason are the lodge. Lodges are governed regionally by Grand Lodges, usually according to state, province, or national borders. These Grand Lodges are independent and not governed by any international or global Grand Lodge. Each lodge usually doesn't recognize other lodges as legitimate either. Masters, officers such as wardens, secretaries, treasurers, and tilers, outer guards, are all elected annually. In regular formal meetings, members conduct business, perform rituals, listen to lectures about rituals and Masonic history. Allegory and lectures usually rotate around the construction of Solomon's Temple and the artistry and death of his chief architect, Hiram Abiff. Some lodges post the different degrees and names on tracing boards, showing what degree they are working on at that time. The rituals consists of 4 ceremonies: candidate initiations into the Freemasons, passing on to the fellow craft degree, which is performed at a separate ceremony, and members who rose to the rank of Master Mason in the 3rd degree. This too is when the annual installation of the Master of the Lodge is performed. Within these ceremonies, members are entrusted with handshakes, passwords, and signs, according to their new ranks, which are used to prove their membership and ranks within the society. The Master is valued at a separate rank with its own secrets, to distinguish its members in regular Masonry. In other branches, though, the grade is not recognized, so new secrets and ceremonies aren't performed during the installation of a new Grand Lodge Master. The earliest portrayed ritual was supposed to have taken place on the porchway of Solomon's Temple. Just like with the Rosicrucian, Freemason beliefs are mostly allegoric, drawn through symbols that represent their manual tools. Some symbols that the Freemasons use, though, are not depictions of tools. It is believed that the Oath of the Brotherhood originated from the 16th century's definition of brother. The oath is a mutual agreement for giving support to fellow Freemasons, unless that member breaks a law. It is also an oath of secrecy taken with the members and being placed on a sacred text, such as a Bible. Each tool depicts a moral lesson which do not always stay consistent with other tools' moral lessons, and are taught through Masonic ritual. Afterwards, there is a formal dinner, festival board, involving toasting and song. To allow members to meet under less ritualistic circumstances, most lodges go according to social calendars. It is required that all members donate to charity. The lodges operate according to set principles known as the landmarks of Freemasonry, which are questionable by critics concerning their actual usefulness, seeing that these principles aren't accepted by all Freemasons. The evolution of the Freemasons consists of 3 phases: operative Masonry, speculative Masonry, and absolute speculative Masonry, with the development of Grand Lodges. The first Grand Lodge was formed in the 17th century in London. The real story of Freemasonry cannot actually be told, because of the amounts of misinformation told about Freemasonry, both by anti-Masonry movements and Freemasons themselves. The best that has been accomplished was done by keeping records of the developments, the events, and the building of lodges since the society's creation. I personally believe that the stories in text are just as important. The early texts are the Halliwell manuscripts, Ridge's poem, the Cook manuscript, Anderson's 1730 Constitutions, and William Preston's illustrations of Freemasonry.